mid-season.
All right, so mostly Dorans, but we have 2 flasks for both mid laners here, trying to sustain through the early game and the early harass that's going to come out. Orianna also can start shield if he feels like he's getting a lot of pressure from that Lulu early. So both of these mid laners can play pretty safe early. And usually when I see an Elise, I think there's going to be a lot of ganks mid, but this is definitely one of the safer mid lane matchups. So I think more jungle pressure will be concentrated on the other 2 sides of the map,
right.
And maybe more moves will be made towards just stealing away camps.
Which lane, if it's going to be the outer lanes, would get more focused?
So whenever there's a Leona, you're always looking at bottom lane. Like the potential is there. I love as jungler when you have a Leona in the lane because she can set up ganks so well. And I think the bottom lane is going to be definitely a point of contention for both these teams. Everybody knows double lift is a huge power point for CLG, so Cloud9 will probably want to get him behind earlier. And Thresh, again, is just like Leona, very popular for setting up ganks because of the Lantern. As long as he lands his hooks. And Lemon, man, does he have a really good hit rate with his hooks. He is on point the last few weeks with that champion.
See what they can produce in the early part of the game here. Wards have gone down, as usual, across the map. We'll see Dexter starting on red as Meteos is as well.
Yeah, so this is very, very common now in the tournament play where junglers will no longer be receiving any help from their bottom lanes because bottom lane early level 2 is such a big, big power point. Really determines the rest couple minutes of the game after that. And both of them want to be in the lane, trying to battle over those first minions. So as we see, Dexter has to do his by himself. Meteos opts to start on his red on the opposite side, though, so he can get a little bit of extra help from Balls.
Always interesting watching Sneaky play with the axes. One of the very, very top Draven players that we see in the LCS. Comp's the other one that's tried it. Sneaky having quite a good reputation so far. Still very early in the game, and it's only been a few auto attacks between this bottom lane that we hope to see a lot of aggression in. And it already starts right at the level 2s. There's one for double lift as well. They start going tit for tat back and forth, but it's just to say hello.
That right there is why everyone's starting their bottom lanes in the lane with the first creep waves. You can see they battled over the experience and both hit level 2, so it was a pretty even trade. Very, very exciting, though. Now, the next big point is when they hit level 6, because that's really where the large amount of CC comes in with the extra ultimates from both supports, and usually you'll see junglers called down there.
I love it when the CS between the AD carries is always by one. It's the I can do anything and you can do better. They're just kind of like looking at each other in the eye, going back and forth.
Lemonation here is thinking he's got a huge lead over Aframu with his 1 CS.
Yeah, that too.
Just dominating him.
These lanes are swinging. 4.5. See, look, it's a 500 and 5,000 rather. See the top lane Balls doing what Renekton does, getting that turret. They're getting that turret pressure up with the minions. And it doesn't look like that's going to draw anything from Dexter. He knows Nian is safe, and it looks like he's going to get a ward down in mid lane for Link.
Yeah. Now, Nian, the big point there is that will he be able to last in under the turret? It looked like they were primed pretty well for him to do so. So I expect him to catch up decently in CS. And the discrepancy right there wasn't too big.
Right. Double lift. Not quite under the turret yet. He's got some pretty easy farming here. Sneaky not exactly in poke range, but they are not letting CLG breathe too much. Keeping him suffocated right up against that turret. And they're just going to keep trying to get those souls collected and auto attacks in when possible. We got backing by Meteos here. Let's see if he tries to make anything happen when he comes back out of base.
Yeah, let's definitely note also how Aframu is helping double lift CS a lot there. That comes with playing with each other a lot because there's not time to be like, oh, hit this one, don't hit that melee, yes, hit that one. They just kind of have to both use their best judgment and work together on it. It seems like they got a lot of those done pretty well. Now that you're talking about Meteos coming out of the base, he's actually picked up a pink ward on top of a regular ward for him. So he's going for very early vision control. I always like to keep the timer on those early pink wards to see how long they can last, because it's a very big gold investment early, but sometimes it could pay off for even like 10, 12 minutes of vision.
We'll see where he decides to put it. One of his most recent comments was, if all your lanes are winning, go and fight the other jungler. Make yourself useful so he can't help the lanes.
Yeah, and as an Elise going against Vi, I definitely like that strategy, because it's pretty easy for Elise to get around Vi's Vault Breaker. If you cause Vi to miss her Vault Breaker, then Elise is definitely going to have the upper hand in that 1-versus-1 matchup. They just placed this ward, and so he comes in to clear it out.
You know, that's a possible area to get that counter gank in. Like we said, that Leona is going to be big with Dexter if he decides to come down to this bottom lane.
And what that ward really does for the bottom lane here is going to sort of cause Lemonation and Sneaky to have an easier time, because Doublelift and Afro have to play a bit more conservatively until they can call in reinforcements, which is actually very quickly.
Dexter's like, I'll be down there in a second. We'll get a little bit of gold on this. And it looks like so far so good in that bot lane.
Man, if Dexter kept going up that river, he could have got the other pink ward too. That would be 2 early pink wards destroyed. Would have been a great lead for them.
Hello, Link.
So we've got Link, or High is pretty far away.
He's level 6. He'll be all right.
Yeah. But man, they got one of the pink wards down. The other one's still standing strong in that tiny little river bush. We'll have to see how long that one lasts.
Doublelift and Afro now find the wave in their favor for a few moves. And it looks like they get a bit of auto attack harass on the Lemonation. Level 4 and level 5 on that side. So it's pretty mirrored here. They're both working with the same thing. Well, that level 6 is going to be pretty big. We'll see if the junglers have anything to say about it as well. Still 400 gold up on the side of Cloud9. Nobody's really got a huge lead though.
Yeah, and looking really back over the top lane, you kind of forget about top lane sometimes, but Balls is doing a great job on Renekton, increasing that CS lead. He's kept Nia under his turret here, and he's doing exactly what you need to on Renekton. If you go even in CS on Renekton, then you start to get a little antsy, because you know that you're going to be falling off later. And he's doing a good job at least making the most of his power curve.
Causing Nian to have to farm with Flame Breath up there in top lane. See how he continues to do. He should still be able to have an impact on the team. Nobody's running teleport in this game. It's something we haven't seen for a while.
Yeah, both the top laners going combat summoners because they want to be able to fight each other. Shyvana should be close to Renekton in that early game power. Post level 7 now, he should be getting a bit more confident, but man, has Balls really made use of that Doran's Blade start? It's a very aggressive start, especially for a top laner who has no extra wards. Dexter easily could have gone up to that top lane multiple times when the ward coverage fell off. As you can see, both top laners really blind here, but he's opted to go bottom. As we said, a lot of focus on the bottom lane, and it is that level 6 Vi that you really want to convert this kill. I think he's waiting for Afromu to hit his 6 just to make sure they can blow everything all in the same gank. Meanwhile, I was going to say, the Elise is heading down as well. Both teams know level 6 bottom going to come in soon.
Reading each other's minds, Kobe. This would be the best time for that to happen. A very nice flash, but the flash for the ultimate, Afromu will take that any day.
Yeah, Afromu pretty happy with that. But what happens when your jungler ganks first and it's unsuccessful? It opens up for the counter gank that you don't really expect. Elimination kind of giving it away there because they charge up very early. It's pretty easy to tell.
You get that behavior
in the bottom lane. Yeah, just the behavioral change. Noticing that in your opponent is a really big part of everybody's laning phase, really, no matter what lane you're in.
As a slice right through a Dragon's Descent that might have pushed Balls back to the turret. Here we go. We're going to get this down onto the Dragon. 9 minutes in. It looks like they might get a little bit of pressure here as they back off.
Disappeared. Magical act there by the Dragon. Shockwave!
There we go on to Link. Forced the flash out. Looks like he does get a little whimsy speed down for himself. The pink ward still sitting alive for Cloud9. And they get down another one.
Yeah, well, 3. They're spending a lot on vision here. If they can get the Dragon, it'll pay off. But CLG are still in the area, and they're looking to contest.
They go right onto Hive. Very nice attack. He shields. He's getting everything. And only Afram who's there to help him. They throw it on the wild growth, but Dexter's going to have to walk out on this. A very nice fight coming in from Counterlogic Gaming as they completely reposition themselves to the bottom side of Dragon.
Link gets the first blood with his Ignite tick there, and they get control of Dragon. Plus, that should probably be 2 pink ward kills. Cloud9 a very bold start on that Dragon. Even though they have Elise and they can tank it up with her Spiderlings, nobody on CLG down, nobody has CLG out of position, and they still force it a second time, trying to make use of that pink ward. Great job by CLG countering there.
And in the top lane, Balls actually used his Ignite, almost killed out Nien. Nien gets both summoners coming out of that engagement, so they may meet him in the top lane in just a bit. That was big by CLG, now up about 1,000 gold and a kill in their favor.
Yeah, he was able to survive, you know, not having to blow any of his own summoners. But Balls still does have his splash, so he's not too worried about the ganks. He hasn't actually picked up any wards still. So if he continues to push like this, I would expect Dexter to actually pay attention up to that top lane for a little bit, because it is that closely contested point, but Balls should probably be pushing anyway since he has the Tiamat very early here. I think he'll continue to do so.
All right, so we are 11 minutes in, our little bit of action that just factored in. Link blowing flash off the command shockwave, but Counterlogic Gaming, like we said before, have been coming in beautifully with the communication and strategy.
Yeah, it was a little bit like a split second maybe early engage there from Dexter, but he saw the perfect shot. When you can get your Vault Breaker to land like that, he had it fully charged up, he flashes so that it lands, then gets the auto attack reset, and then uses his ulti. So he landed everything there onto his primary target, and they were able to take down Lemon Nation in the end.
And they know this can't go any farther in favor of CLG. They need to kind of kick something back for themselves here.
Bottom lane, definitely going to be focused here. High actually making a roam too, so this will be a 4-man. It looks like they'll even go for a dive here.
Yeah, this is what they need. Shockwave is back up for High. He's waltzing around the side. He knows that's free of any Dexters, except for the golem area. And they're going to push Alphamu and double it right off of the turret. I don't even know if this is going to come in as turret gold. They don't have a good push going here.
That wave clear from Sivir is so strong right now. Defending 3 versus 4 is possible when you can do that to a backline wave.
Very rare that you see a Cloud9 gank just be forced off and nothing come of it.
Both of their moves so far, the 2 calls that they've made, Force Dragon, even though CLG are not out of position. Okay, here we go. The counter gank!
He just put the box up to make the Solar Flare look pretty on that one. Lemon Nation gets taken out.
Yeah, that was a circle right inside of that pentagon. Perfectly placed, but Lemon Nation, since his flash was down from the earlier engages, a really good call by CLG. It looks like they're making really all of the right counter moves here. Even though Cloud9 are getting the first step, they're able to answer and then retaliate very quickly.
Don't get too much ahead of yourselves. This could be, oh man, they go right on his Sneaky. He's not even going to get a chance to blink on this one. The ultimate quickly taken out. Dexter with the great aggro from the turret on that.
The tempo has completely shifted in CLG's favor, and now they're chasing Balls down here.
What is this going on right now? Nien goes into Dragon's Descent. It's a few more bites. He protects his gold.
So it wasn't Dexter to make the move top, it was Link to move up there.
Yeah.
And Lulu's actually really good at roaming because she can boost her speed up. shove the wave in with Glitter Lance, and then make a move to try and take down this Renekton who's constantly split pushing. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, they also use the Dexter ultimate. It looks like just all areas of the map here, CLG, are really taking command.
Such communication there. Link not having to follow high down, goes in the top lane, gets a kill for himself along with Nien. Everything is working in favor of Chronologic Gaming here, and they made it start quick. Right from the Dragon on, they've been in the driver's seat now. 4 kills, about 3,000 gold, and without any counter jungling or whatnot, they've just been working off Cloud9 mistakes.
Yeah, and they're, I mean, especially, I mean, the whole team, actually. I'm not going to call out one person. All of CLG are really working well right now.
Absolutely.
The communication to answer the moves from Cloud9 and then go aggressive when appropriate has been impressive here. And talking about the junglers, you know, they're both going sort of defensively here, starting out with the Spirit of the Ancient Golem as opposed to Lizard or the Wraith. And I like that move because Vi doesn't want to be too squishy. He can get the Brutalizer next, just for the great cooldown reduction, armor penetration, and all of that jazz. But he started out with a very early tenacity too, so that will help him a lot in this very dive-heavy comp.
A little bit of a grab, not much happening onto that.
Both junglers are circling around the bottom, looking to make something happen, but it is going to be difficult because both bottom lanes have stepped up their vision control too. Yeah. Man, so those jungle items, by the way, the gold from conservation stacks is if you use every single conservation stack, like on, you never let it get to 80 and you never let it sit there in your pocket. It's about 6.6 gold per 10, which is kind of halfway between a tier 1 and tier 2 gold item for supports. So getting that very early is a huge boost to the income of both of those guys.
Now, if we actually saw Vi going for the Lizard Elder, would that have to be kind of matched by the Wraith on Meteos' side for damage, or can they still do whatever?
Yeah, you don't have to match the damage for damage. Especially Elise doesn't have to build that item. Oh, here we go. Dexter coming with the ult.
Oh, Nien wants to party too. The shockwave keeps him in a bit. The shield, no, he does not. Able to pull it back. Great job by CLG once again.
Okay, so they call a lot of resources towards mid for that. Both top laner and jungler down for the kill. They get the kill, but can they get a turret or any objective off of this? Because they're giving up top lane. Dragon respawns. It's just in time.
Yep, like you said, giving up top lane. Balls will do what he can, but that gank, Nien was already moving to know Dragon would be up the second they got there. The mid lane gank happened perfectly. Dragon, once again, happens perfectly. 25,000 gold pretty much. 5 kills. CLG is in the lead.
And a lot of the times, the time to make that call is when your top laner, 1 versus 1, is sort of the weaker top laner. And since Renekton is going to be pushing Nien in anyway, it makes a lot of sense to trade the Dragon for the turret at that point, since his turret's already low, and they're probably going to lose it anyway. Very good timing there from CLG. Again, it seems like they're really on point all day today.
A lot of Cloud9 here is just walking themselves into these engagements. Obviously, CLG can get out of this, but Cloud9 wants the turret. They want to start getting that map pressure back. They were buying the pink wards early, but it doesn't seem to have done anything.
Yeah, all those pink wards, CLG have found them pretty quickly. There was just that one sticking around the small bush for a while. But yeah, I mean, Cloud9 invested a lot of gold into that, and the early moves that they wanted to make off of those both sort of failed. So they've gone to try and lick their wounds here, and Cloud9 have gone into a little bit more conservative mode, and they're really going to have to focus on cashing in those adoration stacks from Sneaky. I think that's where a big boost in their power could come from. Right now, he's only down at 24.
I'd not be catching too many.
Not the biggest number there. It looks like he's not the crowd favorite.
Not going to be calling in too many adoration stacks. High still down here. We had a bit of a roam from balls to the mid lane to clean up some experience, do some janitor duty. He returns back to top lane to stop the suffocation the end has on that top turret now. Looks like High will finally back off of this bottom. Link is still figuring out what to do with the communication. It's always on the double lift, on the hunt. They go right for Sneaky. That spread was enough for CLG to say, we want this. They get the quick kill on him. Very low onto Dexter's. He goes down. Meteos forced out of the fight, but he looks to come back in. The volatile spider heading towards Link. They get a bit of damage. Can they pop him back up? They do. Cloud9 getting the fights that they want. High was in the right spot at the right time and came back down.
All right, huge swing for Cloud9. They want to capitalize on this. Yes, they won the fight, but they need to get the objective afterward. They want another kill going for double.
Oh, it's all for double. It forces the flash. He put the shield on too early. He goes down still. He was just surrounded. Aframu did what he could. 6-3. Cloud9 somehow turning this back in their favor.
A one-team fight plus 2 more turrets off of that. That's going to be a lot of global gold. Nien's trying to make an answer up top, though, because of the roam down mid from balls. So he's trying to get the top turret there for CLG. The gold's back to even, but let's take, again, another look at this. Everything blasted on the Sneaky.
Yep.
Like I was saying, this Sir comp is going to go right for that Draven. They immediately take him out. But High coming in with the shockwave, and Lemon Nation actually gets the kill. So he's going to have a blue buff, and that really adds a lot to the chase potential, as we'll see later here. He's able to take down Link, and then they don't give up on the play after that. And they even go deeper and finally get double upped as well. So a huge swing back there for Cloud9. They're only down now 1,000 gold, which is easily turned around here. So this is right back to very, very even game.
And they're the ones cutting down the turrets. That was the first turret drop for CLG in that top lane. Mid's still up. Cloud9 has opened up this map like a Christmas present right now. Going down mid, they still have at least a second tier turret there. We'll see what they can do. Sneaky moving back down to the bottom lane. We just get some farming back on.
Yeah, and again, since they killed Sneaky, they went straight for him.
Yeah.
Chopped down those stacks again. So it's not going to be impressive when he gets his next kill. The crowd is not amused because he's only been dying here. No kills for him. And he's going to have to spend a while farming if he wants to get that back up.
Both of these AD carries are looking to tarnish champion records. Sneaky has one on Draven.
Mid.
Oh, Afromu on the high. Oh, wait, got bounced out. The shockwave was nice, but the obliteration was better.
So CLG grouping up first. They force the fight in mid, get one, but Balls roams down from the side. This would only be a 4 vs 4 since they already took out High, and Yen is up top trying to answer back.
Having that Lulu so easy. You just polymorph for wild growth and you disengage out of anything. Balls now. Turret is going to be done to this top lane as he was caught roaming there for a second. In the end, can easily just split push this, burn himself out to safety.
Yeah, CLG really, really would love to get an additional turret down. With this team, where they've got Sivir and then these brawly melees that can engage on you, they love to have more open territory on the map where they can catch Cloud9 and chase them down. Meanwhile, Cloud9 want to do everything they can to defend these turrets for the exact opposite reasons. They need to be able to defend at them. And you can see them. Now it's Cloud9 being reactive. They're coming down to defend.
Turret may go down in this instance. It's very low. High doing what he can, but they got a little too close. Aframu's in the middle of the fight here. Doublelift is on the outside, getting in some good damage. They're trying to focus down onto Dexter, but he is the tank here in this situation. Lemon Nation's going to go down next, and they go for a one-on-one with Doublelift and Aframu.
Because CLG shoved the mid lane in before prepping that bottom lane push, Meteos was stuck at the mid lane farming minions, and it was a 3 vs 4 down bottom in CLG's favor. Another win in the team fight for CLG. Cloud9 tried to defend this turret, the last hit. And even though Sneaky is able to get off a lot of good damage here, 4 versus 3, they can't fight the numbers. Good stun, back-to-back stuns landed by Afro Move, enabling them to grab 2 kills on top of the turret.
CLG is doing amazing at having things happen as a team. Everybody's there getting assists on these. The kill participation is through the roof for Counterlogic Gaming right now.
I mean, they got another one of those very important turrets down, but this should be another fight here. Cloud9 are contesting all the way into the Dragon Pit.
That's Dexter. His ball's a little too close here. He's going to be going on to Nien. The only thing on the front line is the house bars. CLG is perfectly positioned, and they're crushing down here. High falls. Sneaky's down. Balls gets obliterated. The double kill comes in. Lemonation is now the focus, and they've completely aced Cloud9.
The exact area CLG want to fight in. They draw Cloud9 away from turrets, turn on the hunt, and just obliterate Cloud9. They could even go for it. Wow, this is a very early Baron, but everybody's dead from Cloud9, so they should have an easy time of it. Balls really want to get in there disrupt, but they use the stun onto Nien too, so they don't really have a lot left to peel. Even though it's a good shockwave here, it's very rough for Cloud9 trying to get out of this one with all those melee heavy champions sped up by Silver. And it is going to be the Baron. CLG on point right now, 14-4. Nobody has done this to Cloud9.
Absolutely not. The spinner wheel definitely hit something good today for Counterlogic Gaming. 14-4 here, 24 minutes into the game. They have an 8,000 gold lead.
The only person who has a decent amount of money here is Meteos with 3 kills.
Yeah.
I mean, Lemonation has 1 of the kills, and the 3 other ones are on Elise, who's not really a late game carry. Elise is about getting the lanes going and getting the early pressure. So it's looking pretty dire here for Cloud9 as they head towards the late game. They weren't able to get the kills on the Draven that they wanted, and he never really got his lane going. Balls did a great job up top, shoving in the end and keeping his pressure for a while. But it's the calls that were made sort of in the mid of the map and towards that bottom side that were really kind of backfired for Cloud9 early.
Yeah, and they got to be counting their blessings that CLG does not force them into a fight. A 3-item double lift right now to a Bloodthirster pickaxe Sneaky, and that's almost the same case for all the inventories. They are far ahead right now of Cloud9.
Yeah, pretty much every person on CLG having a completed item over their counterpart on Cloud9.
Even the supports, Aegis completed already in the Talisman of Ascension to the Sightstone. It's getting and looking grim right now. Bottom turret is the next focus for Counterlogic Gaming very early in 25 minutes. We've already seen that Baron get hit up from CLG, because that was the ace of Cloud9 at Dragon just a few minutes ago, and they're still working the driver's seat.
Yeah, so CLG right now, they're looking to increase their vision control inside the jungles because they love fighting in the jungles.
Right.
They can take advantage of any person on Cloud9 who's out of position. Whereas Cloud9, all the Cloud9 fans right now are hoping for a tower defense that results in a land cocoon on someone squishy out of position. But that's not going to happen here. Sneaky already getting jumped.
Oh my gosh, he goes down immediately. A turret gets dropped before by double lift, and they're still going through. Link gets a kill for himself on Elimination, and Cloud9 can't even stand up to the initiations.
Yeah, Nien's just running wild inside this Cloud9 base, going wherever he pleases, farming 2 waves, taking Nexus shots, and they get the inhibitor. They're looking to end it already.
Counterlogic Gaming looking to go 6-5 here on the split. They're still looking at Nexus turrets, but they have balls in front of them. Their dominance goes down. That's a great shockwave. Maybe something they need, but a 2v1 right on the high. He has no chance, and everybody from Cloud9 is forced to back out. Meteos Doesn't look like he'll make it out.
They were able to go right at Link, make sure he couldn't follow up the shockwave with any extra damage, and CLG with a dominating early performance
They
here.
completely dismantled what we see Cloud9 usually do. Cloud9 is on tilt this game, if you will.
Seems like, yeah, they're doing a great job here. So, again, just coming around behind the turret, Nien just has the confidence here to flank right in between turrets. He goes straight for Sneaky, dives one turret, takes a couple more here, and chases off everyone from Cloud9, allowing an easy turret kill. That's really the only problem that CLG would have in this game, is trying to crack those turret defenses, the siege strategies. But once you are able to catch Cloud9 before they set up around the turret, and they get them between, it's pretty easy for them to zone off the turret, and then Doublelift makes quick work of it in the back. He may have short range, but he's got plenty of damage.
Baron should be wearing off pretty soon. Cloud9 have done what they can to stave off any more damage. They lost the inhibitor in bottom lane, which really allows CLG to do whatever they want on the top side of this map now. They can spread Cloud9 thin if they want to put someone in that bottom.
Yeah, very, very rough here for Cloud9. At this point, it's back to the bush ganks. Try and rely on vision. If you can pick somebody off, then maybe you can make something happen. I mentioned the cocoons and the thresh hooks are really what they're counting on. Need one of those to land on Doublelift or Link. Try and take out one of the powerhouses early, but they're circling around and putting themselves in sort of a bad position here. They actually need to defend with the turret, and being outside of the turret doesn't really help them.
Everything's going to be really hard.
Wow,
oh my gosh! Sneaky's level 12. Doublelift is level 15 right now. These guys are getting completely and surgically removed from the map. Meteos will be next. Doublelift takes a few too many shots to the face, and he'll go down for the hands of high. Looks like Boss will be tacked up between three. Nien's coming in to get a little bit of this fight, but it's just to push them off. They are making Cloud9's base, or they are tearing it apart, I should say, as they get the kills. High may not be able to get out of this.
Nien's going to back off here, though. Because he is the full tank Shyvana, he didn't go Blade of the Ruined King. Not looking to assassinate anybody under there. And, man, that was just a weird call there from Cloud9. I mean, they're so far behind that they really need to use the turret in their fight. Circling around behind CLG to sort of force a 4 versus 4. Oh!
Wow.
Almost cuts his head off there.
That was close. That didn't taste anything like purple.
High's 1 versus 3 plus a dragon here.
Oh, on the outside, he's going to get 0. No! They draw, partner!
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
The showdown at high noon. Aphromoo comes in to lay down the law. Very close. Both mid laners losing their lives, though.
Nien's going to suck up some of the resources here on the side of Cloud9. They have not gotten much of their own. That jungle has been CLG's this entire game. And they're still looking to get themselves around. They got the sweepers out, obviously the sight stones, the pink wards. They're doing everything they still need to. Saying tilt earlier, you know, was a little actually out of class. Cloud9 still doing what they can to keep themselves in this game.
Cloud9 are a team that are constantly fighting back. They will not give up. Sneaky here is going to have a hard time, though.
Just stand aside. There's a dragon, though. The dragons are pretty hard to run away from, especially. Oh, no! Ha-ha! How about that?
Good escape. That's does he get an adoration stack for living? No. But at least he gets to live another day.
He's trying to cast him in.
Can't
find the teller.
81 now, so
he's getting him up there.
A little bit. It's nothing huge like Cop was on Cop's trading game, but
well, he's been able to get some farm under his belt at least. He was level 12. Now he's 14. Doublelift just hit 16, so you can see just how far they're behind. They're always trying to get that next rung of the ladder, but Doublelift is already 7 rungs ahead. 22-6 is the score. A lot of those kills are on Doublelift. He's had 17 kill participation out of that 22, and they're looking to get 60,000 gold to 43,000 right now. They're playing it slow. The CLG doesn't look like they're going to make a mistake that would cost them the game here.
Well, they're going for Baron before taking out the inhibitor again. I think that they could easily win that fight around the inhibitor if they wanted to be super safe first. This kind of opens up a potential steal from Cloud9. This is a potential comeback moment here. Around the Baron, Meteos on Elise is a champion that's great at stealing Baron.
Looks like they try to get her out. Well, Dexter, where are you going? Oh my God, Dexter right back to Sneaky. Nobody's there to peel for him, but they do all come back. Clement Nation and Meteos doing what they can. They make it Link. A beautiful wild growth saves him and deters that engagement. It's double lift and high, back and forth now. He's never going to live this. The shield, but only for so long. Sneaky is now the focus. They get back onto him, and not any amount of peel in the world could have stopped Nian right now. And he's still in a 3v1 situation. The rest of the cavalry arrives, and it looks like Cloud9 is going to be forced into another fight.
So they draw C9 out of the base. They stop the Baron. I think that's definitely a good call instead of trying to finish it there. And Dexter with the long range initiate. This should be the game here for CLG as well. Pushing right into the base. Pretty clean.
Got a few early deaths, 20 seconds on those timers, so we may get high back in here. He won't have Shockwave up, but this is looking bad. They are turning this base into shambles right now.
Cloud9 might be able to defend this. They've got Draven and Orianna coming right back up.
It's gonna be a hang on. CLG backs off for now, but they have a lot to work with, and I don't think they're too scared to approach that front door in just a few seconds.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a roundabout way of doing it, but they got exactly what they needed to get done. 2 inhibitors down now. Now it's a very easy Baron to force. They can make the exact same fight happen right now. So let's see exactly what did happen. Dexter, as we said, went for the long range, going straight at the damage of Cloud9, and it's very chaotic here, very spread out. Since Nian went around the other way, Sneak actually lives a bit longer, and High getting chased down on the bottom side by double lift. It's just such a chaotic fight. CLG are carried pretty much by their purses at this point. They're so far ahead that the extra items they've been able to purchase can carry them in all these 1v1s and 2v2s that are spread out around that red side jungle.
Cloud9 getting out of their base when they can, trying to get everything out of that front door and get things cleaned up here. It was quite a party that CLG just threw without their permission. And it looks like they are trying to do...
But we're still in the game here, you know? They haven't ended it yet. There's Baron still alive, so there's hope. Whenever Baron's still left, the losing team has hope.
That's true. It is a scary thing. Not out of the woods yet for Counterlogic Gaming. They have 2 inhibitors that they can pretty much look at when they come back up. No reason to push them now, so that top lane really gives them everything to dictate here. Cloud9 has to adapt to CLG.
All right, so they haven't even waited really for the super minions to get into the base. And they're just burning this sucker down. It's going down really fast. But Meteos is in the area, so pretty much exactly the same thing we saw before.
They got to be careful how much they bait this.
There's less flashes this time, though, so it's kind of hard, a little bit harder to engage for CLG over the back of the wall. You know, they don't have people who are jumping right over there.
Poor Baron.
Now the super minions are making their way to the base, though. CLG have really... All they have to do is wait. They just need to be patient. They're actually tanking Baron right now, and Nian doesn't even really feel it.
Oh, on the hunt. Dexter going in. The Vault Breaker, Assault Battery. Who's it on? It's high in the back. Oh, he gets the airborne Shockwave. That was very nice, but he still goes down in the end. It's a pop-up, double pop-up Vault Breaker coming in. A nice boomerang coming in from double lift, and it looks like they're able to lock it. They get the Thresh Lantern, but the base is going to be wide open.
Yeah, Super Minion's probably going to be able to get a Nexus turret here, and Meteos going down to regular
Minions OP!
Alright, that should be it. CLG running into the base here. Only 1 Nexus turret.
Wow!
And Link is gigantic.
What a fantastic game! A surrender from Cloud9, and Counterlogic Gaming goes 6-5 with the win.
Wow. You have to be worried for CLG though, because the spinner might have landed on win 1 game, give fans false hope.
Oh no! Please don't say it's hit.
They're pretty